went with you. I met a lot of the people that you stayed with. I met a lot of your friends. I talked to the police. I met your crazy ass family, and
They
I
are
came
crazy,
home.
aren't
That
they?
was my experience in Nebraska. What do you want me to do?
That's the thing, dude. When we went to talk to my public pretender and she wasn't there, how many excuses did they make? You know? I mean, that's all stuff that needs to be written down. You know, those officers in Nebraska, I noticed that you typed about me yelling at you. I've yelled at you twice. And both times I was right. It probably wasn't right for me to yell at you. But the fact is, those officers in Nebraska didn't take my report because of what you said when you first went out there. And that's the thing, is that they specifically cited you and what you said as their reason for not taking a report. He asked if it was just one of those things where I needed somebody to talk to. And, you know, that's the thing, is that I was being harassed by, Alicia Bollinger's dad on her fucking YouTube, and he was giving no indication that she was alive. None. And you were witness to that. You were witness.
And you told the officer that.
That's the thing, is that the officer didn't take it seriously because of what you had told him. And the cops in Chapel, Nebraska told me that specifically, Graham. That they didn't take my report seriously because you told them that I was bipolar. So I corrected them. They didn't even watch the video. They watched it just far enough to hear you say that I was autistic. But see, they didn't even remember what it is that you had said, because they told me that you said I was bipolar. I said, nope, that's not what he said, and that is not a valid reason for not taking a fucking police report.
Right. So, well, how is that on me? That's on the cop, not me.
It's not on you. It's the fact that you were there and could be somebody who could come forward in court about that, because they didn't do their jobs. And you know what? It is on you, because you, the way that you spoke when he said, is this one of those things where he just needs somebody to talk to? No, I needed him to take a report. You just didn't understand the line of questioning because you haven't been stuck in the homeless circuit for long enough. And you know what? It's very difficult for me. I mean, I paid rent while I was there, did I not? Did I not provide food and help to clean?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
I said, while I was there, I paid rent. I helped clean. I helped provide food. You know,
Yes,
while
you
I
have.
was there, it wasn't a Sean is taking care of everybody thing. And it's not an everybody takes care of Sean thing. Tabby's house is a very loving environment, except for Josh. You know? I mean, every time that you were going to, literally nobody has taken a look at the evidence. You said that you would, but every time that you were gonna, Josh was drunk and needed the attention. Am I wrong about that?
No.
See, that's the thing, is that it's not just the shit that I had to go through, but it's the fact that I had to go through so much of it. I mean, Josh shut me down a lot, and I'm not trying to be an asshole to Josh by saying that, but he was fucking expensive, you know? And Miss Tabby, she deserves better than that. Her family deserves better than that, and I think you're a much better boyfriend. I really do. But at the same time, I mean, that shit that night that, right before my grandma's funeral, like, I really needed that officer to take my report, and he didn't. I literally had to have a woman named Molly Smith go in with me months later to force them to make that report, and they still didn't take it seriously.
The only reason I said what I did, so he didn't go in there with guns blazing, and fucking you were going to wind up in jail. That's the only reason I said what I did.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that's important to write down. You were a witness. You took an active role in it. You were there. You got to see it. You got to hear it. And if that's what your opinion was at the time, it's important for you to write that down. Also, like, Officer Amanda Jonas literally slandered every single one of you. Slandered you, slandered Peaches, slandered Tabby, slandered everybody. by claiming that you guys wouldn't come forward because of the way that I act. No, the way that I act is because nobody came forward. There were lots of people who were witness to the shit that I had to endure. Like, I really would have loved Tabby's house, absolutely loved it, if Josh hadn't been there. But he didn't leave until I already had to leave, you know? Now, with you not having the money to keep your word, I mean, I'm not angry that you didn't keep your word so much as I'm angry that you didn't cite your reasons. That's something that needs to go to the police. When Amanda Jonas said that none of you guys were trying, there were plenty of people who were trying to make police reports, and the police outright refused. And I'm pissed off because I'm still in a fucked up situation, and I need people to come forward about what happened. That stuff in chapel, like, you know, how many times did my family come up and say something about my mom being pissed off that I was there? You know? I mean, you went to the funeral with me. You got to hear those things. And, like, as far as... All right, so when you said that you'd give me that $100 so that I could get my vehicle out, I mean, I literally needed $100 or I was screwed. When you weren't able to keep your word, it's not the fact that you weren't able to keep your word. It's the fact that your inability to keep your word fucked me severely. Whether it was intentional or not is arbitrary. It's the fact that it happened, and that needs to be cited as well. It doesn't make you a bad person for not keeping your word. I understand. I mean, shit, Tabby's been good to me for a lot of years. She's had a family for a lot of years, and her family needs to come first. I understand that, you know? What I'm angry about is the fact that there was so much stuff that happened that people didn't come forward about. Like at Tabby's, I was trying really hard to get the stuff done that I needed. And I was trying really hard to, you know, get people to have the time to actually take a look at it. And Graham, I mean, the 8 or 10 times that you were willing to sit down and look at that stuff with me, literally every single time, Josh needed your attention. Now, am I a bad person for that? Was that a decision that I made?
No.
I'm not mad at you for not taking a look at that stuff. You said that you would, and you tried, and I understand that Graham was or not Graham, but Josh was the man of the house, and, you know, when he needed attention, you jumped right on it, because, I mean, that's your living situation. And I do understand that wholeheartedly. But I'm angry because, like, you know, you saying that you weren't witness to anything, you were witness to a lot, Graham. I mean, how many excuses did my lawyers, whatchamacallits, I mean, how many excuses did they make for her not being there and not calling? You know, and you were there for that. And I got the piece of paper that you wrote, you know, it's not... Well, it's pretty devoid of information, and, you know, there's a lot of stuff that you wrote down that was basically just pretty fill-in, but, I mean, you know, that's your writing style. But the thing is, I've still got that piece of paper, I just can't get the police to look at it, you know? The fact that my public pretenders, of the 3 times that you went in with me, the 2 times at court, and the one time at the public pretender's office, I mean, you were witness that all 3 times I took my backpack with me, and all 3 times they refused to take a look at it or even take a statement from me. And that is important information. It's important to note that they refused outright to do their jobs. And you were a witness to that.
I mean, I've been trying to do the best I can here.
That's important to note.
We have a lot going on ourselves, and it's just...
Indeed.
Everything, and then to add that...
It is quite a bit, isn't it?
Just with everything that's going on, it's hard to just keep track of everything, man, and, you know...
I know.
And... I mean, I can write a letter saying what happened at the public defender's office. And then I can write a letter what happened with the cop. And I mean, that's pretty much it. And I can send it to you. Do you have an address?
I don't.
I can send it to you.
See, that's the thing, Graham, is that even though you guys didn't screw me over intentionally, the having to wait so long to get that stuff really screwed me over. I mean, I'm not mad at you because of the way that the situation turned out. I'm mad because it's a fucked up situation and I'm still stuck in it. I need help, but everybody's got real families and their real families take precedence, you know? I mean, I understand your situation and Tabby's situation, and I understood it before I showed up last year. I mean, I felt shitty for needing help. You know, my money should have never been taken. I should have never been assaulted. All of that stuff with Josh, and like, that guy is an abusive fucking asshole. And like the severe quantity of assholeness out of him at all points in time kept me in a constant state of shutdown. So that's important to note as well. I mean, you can write a report about Josh. Tabby can write a report about Josh. Sid can write a report about Josh. Candace can write a report about Josh. I mean, that guy is just a straight up asshole.
Yeah.
The things that he did to Sydney, was that an okay thing for him to do?
No, not at all.
And that's the thing, you know, Graham, I've been telling true stories. I haven't been running around lying. The only time that I lied was when I lied and said that I would kill the president. You know, I mean, I'm not actually willing to kill people, and anybody who knows me knows that. I'm frustrated because it wasn't just you and Tabby. I mean, there were a lot of people who didn't come through and said that they would. And their situations, the reason that they weren't able to come through is important. The fact that you couldn't give me that money when you said you would, you know, that affected me greatly. And I understand that there were reasons that you couldn't. Those reasons are important because of people like Officer Amanda Jonas, who wrote down that nobody would come forward, probably because of the way that I act. No, you guys couldn't come forward because it's difficult to find the time. And that's important to note, that that officer literally slandered everybody that I know with that one sentence. Like, you guys are doing the best that you can with what you've got. You know, when you said that you would sit down and look at that information with me, you didn't know that Josh was going to be an asshole every time you sat down to do it. It was just the way that things happened. But that's an important piece of evidence. That's an important piece of the puzzle, you know? And I'm not hateful. I'm frustrated, and you know, I mean, I understand that you guys don't have much time, but the longer it takes for these things to happen, the more fucked I am, the more evidence is lost, and also, like, it's difficult because over time, people's memories don't remember events exactly as they happened, you know? You lose things over time.
I understand, man, but I mean, that's not okay to make Tabby or I feel like we're assholes and that we don't love you and care about you because, you know, we haven't been able to do it. But, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, we love you very much, and we try to do what we can for you, and it feels like you disregard it.
Well, I'm not disregarding it. I'm glad for what you did, but the parts where I needed you to keep your word and you weren't able to, that was the important parts.
But I have kept my word.
I mean, you guys aren't bad people. It's the fact that, like, I asked nicely and asked nicely and asked nicely and asked nicely and beg and beg and beg, and people don't respond until I'm an asshole to them. You know, that's...
John, I still have all your stuff in my garage.
I know you do. You're a badass, Tabby.
Huh?
I said I know you do. You're a badass, Tabby.
But I still have all your stuff in my garage. I still, you know, people come in and say, oh, what's this? And I say, leave that alone. That's not yours to touch. You know, I've stopped Josh and stopped everybody from... I locked that garage down with Josh in the back of that garage. He has gone in. anybody. Like, I 50% of my garage is stuff. I didn't love you or care about you. I wouldn't have your stuff still here in my garage, too, you know?
Yeah, Tabby, I'm frustrated for good reason. I mean, it's not that you guys are bad people. It's that the police slandered the shit out of everybody who tried to help me. I mean, the thing is that they were allowed to put in court and put on court documents, you know, they're wrong. They're completely wrong. It's not that you guys didn't want to make a report. It's that you couldn't find the time. And you guys told me that repeatedly. You're trying. And I know you're trying. But, you know, they were able to railroad me.
The extra kids that you adopted, plus, you know, this whole week, I've dealt with court personally myself. I have dealt with court with Sydney. I have dealt with court. I just got sued for $8,000. I have court on Monday for Jesse. I just took in Josh's son, who is 18 years old with mental problems, has nowhere to go. He has numerous court dates, has kind of the same issues going on with him, like some of the stuff in his life. Honestly,
see, that's the thing, is that
I deal with that situation. But
you keep cutting out, Tabby. That's the thing, is that you guys weren't able to make a report because of the things that are going on in your life. It's not because I was a bad person. It's not because I was fucking screaming at you guys nonstop. Like, was I busy screaming at you guys while I was there?
No, you never raised your voice to me, and you never have, Sean.
And that's important to note. I mean, the thing is, these people slandered the fuck out of my name, and they slandered the fuck out of you guys' name too by the shit that they wrote down. You know? To say that you guys don't care. But that's the thing, is that I asked nicely a lot. And, you know, when I started being an asshole, that's when you guys responded. I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to say mean shit to you guys. You're not bad people. Not even close. I mean, Josh is literally the only issue that I had the whole time I was there. He is literally...
Here's something that I deal with every day with Josh. I have, for instance, 4 of his kids right now. 3 that are mine, and 1 that is a grown boy, who literally is fighting every day, not only with his mental issues, but the stuff that he put him through, for him to heal from all of that. You know, this kid has been through hell and high water. And right now, you know, when I have a freak out moment, when somebody just puts their hand on his shoulder and he downs a person, I've got to deal with that in the moment, because if I just allow that to happen, then that's a bad position for everybody.
Exactly. So you see why I'm so afraid. I mean, you know the street life. I've been through hell. You know how the cops are in the area. I've been through hell. And, you know, people need to come forward about these things. With you, I understand with your situation. I do. You know, I mean, you're a good fucking mom. And there is no way in hell that I'm going to say otherwise, because I fucking know better. I see how you are with your kids. I see the stresses that you go through. And I see the stresses that Josh added. And the fact is, I'm not the only person in the house who Josh shut down by being like that. You guys did...
I'm dealing with a grown boy that has never really dealt with the situation of Josh, other than the fact that he remembers about how he treated him when he was little, which has impacted his whole adult life. And his whole adult life has only been a year right now, but it has impacted his whole life. He's been in and out of the system because of what damage has been done.
So you're getting everything that I'm saying, you understand. And you understand it from Josh's son as well. Which proves that
100%.
That proves
I deal with it on a day-to-day basis with my own children. But also I'm dealing with this kid that isn't even mine, but he is my kid's sibling.
Yep.
And I can't turn my back on this kid right now because he fucking needs it.
Exactly. And that's stuff that should all come out. That's all stuff that we all dealt with. I mean, I didn't have to deal with Josh's son, but I mean, that shows the kind of people that you guys really are, you know? The fact that it wasn't that I was screaming at you guys that you didn't make a fucking report. It's the fact that you're a fucking mother who's dealing with a stressful situation. And, you know, I'm so glad that Josh is gone. I am. You know, I'm glad. I'm absolutely certain it's a more loving environment. I mean, Candace is fucking badass. There ain't no way to hide behind that. She's fucking badass. And Sid, you know, I mean, sure, she's gonna screw up. She's pretty young, but I mean, you know, she's badass too. And we all gotta admit that.
She's coming into her own too. All of us have damaged goods. All of us are people, you know, even in prior relationships, like my ex-husband, you know, these kids are damaged from the damage that has been done throughout the years of people. Even myself, I've damaged my own kids. I'm not fucking the best person either.
You're not perfect, but you're pretty badass, Tabby. You know?
But I do try for my kids. I mean, and you know, and on top of that, I got Sydney who's moving out, who's going to start her adult life. I've got Candace who's going to start her adult life, and then I've got Jesse who I've got to get out and get into an adult life and maybe get him into a care facility. Not a care facility in the sense of an independent living, but where people are still there for him.
Yes, ma'am. Basically, you're hooking him up with what I needed.
Because he's been institutionalized his whole life, and he needs that freedom, but he also needs that watch too.
Right, exactly. He needs the same shit that I need. But also, like, you know, you have family, you know, you get to see Graham every day, you get to see Sid, you get to see your kids, you get to see your family. For me, I don't get to see my family, and people could have spoke up, but they didn't have the time. And, you know, Shannon Alvarado, when I left your guys' house, that's where I went, you know. I mean, with Graham, the fact that he didn't keep his word, you know, really fucked me over. But there's also the fact that there are reasons that he didn't keep his word, and those reasons are important, you know. I mean, the fact that he wasn't able to hook me up with $100 before I left there, you know, that was the reason that I had to leave. That was the make it or break it for me being able to get my vehicle out and go jump through all the hoops that the courts wanted. Now, the thing is that Graham is not a bad person for not having that money. There was reasons that he didn't have that money, and those reasons are important. When he told me that he would send that stuff out on Friday to me, and I got to California, and 6 weeks later he finally sent it, you know, it wasn't the fact that it did screw me over severely, but it was the fact that I needed him to write down why it is that he didn't keep his word. You know, if you don't keep your word, but there are reasons that you couldn't, those reasons are important, and they are important in court as well. You know, I mean, your guys' financial situation and your living situation and Josh's abuse and all of that is all contributing factors, you know. I mean, it's not that you guys didn't want to, it's that you couldn't, and that's important to note. Those officers slandered the shit out of my name, and they slandered the shit out of your guys' names by saying those things as well. And, you know, you said you'd write a report a year ago. You remember who I was before all of this happened. You remember who I was. I'm not much different. I'm just a lot more sad now. You know, I mean, Graham, he made a lot of time to sit down with me and look at evidence. And every time that we set it up to sit down and do that, Josh needed his attention. That wasn't my fault. That wasn't my choice. People keep telling me that I chose this, you know. I literally begged people until I had to be an asshole, and it sucks because people respond to me being an asshole. They don't respond to me asking. They blow me off like it's not a major issue. And it is a major issue. I was hit in the head over 100 times last year. I was assaulted at least 30 times by the public and at least 7 times by the police. I had to do desperate shit because people didn't actually write those reports. And there was a lot of stuff that you guys were witness to. I mean, Josh's antics, fuck, you know? I mean, him calling your daughter a 3-year-old a fucking cunt, you know? That's... I use that word. I do. I hate that word. I hate the word cunt. I use it for people who get others hurt. You know?
And that's why Josh isn't here, is because he went too far with stuff.
Yeah, I know. And I knew he was gonna. I just... You know, hindsight is 20/20. I wish that Josh had left a lot sooner so that, you know, Graham and you and me and all the kids wouldn't have to deal with that stress. I could have actually gotten something done. I mean, over half the videos that I made I had to erase because Josh was screaming. And there was a lot more that I had to erase because the kids kept coming in. But, I mean, you know, that's to be expected with kids. That's acceptable behavior because, you know, they're kids. But with Josh, that's uncalled for. He's a grown-ass adult. And the fact is, like, you guys weren't bad to me. Not even close to bad to me. But that information was important, you know? I mean, by the time... I knew that if I was able to get Graham to send that package within the first week, like he said that he would, that I would be able to do the things that I needed to do. Instead, you know, it took 6 weeks for him to send that. And it's important for him to write down why it is that he wasn't able to. I mean, he's not a bad person for not keeping his word. He's not even close to a bad person for not keeping his word. But the reasons that he couldn't are important for me to take to court. You know? I mean, I'm in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I miss the fuck out of you guys. I'm living in the Jeep that I was trying to give you. You know? I mean, I can't go to Colorado. I would love to drive down there and see you guys just for a day. Just get some hugs and some positivity and I really need that in my life. I don't have any friends, Tabby. I don't have any friends here. I miss everyone, and most of these folks don't understand that the difference between me being able to see you guys and me living like this is your testimony.
John, I'm going to write a letter. I'm going to do it straight. And I'll put my notary stamp on it so that they know it's from me. Is there a place though that I can send it to or no?
See, that's the biggest issue, is that I don't have a place to send it to. If you can write do you have my email address still, right?
Yeah.
I'll have you send it to my email, and see, that's the thing. It really does need to go to the police. You know, all the stuff, Graham, you were witness that I was trying. I jumped through every one of their hoops, and they refused to look at the evidence at every fucking step of the way. Anything that you can remember about the court dates is important. Anything that you can remember... I mean, really, I'd like you to go down to the police station and make a report. Make an actual police report. And with your time schedule, I don't even know how to get you to do that. Graham?
Yes, sir.
I don't have a lot of money, but I have enough that if you guys were able to find a ride, I could pay you guys to come see me. I could give you guys $100 in gas. I miss you guys so much. Do what?
Are you staying in Wyoming for the time being?
Yeah, I'm staying in Cheyenne. I've been trying to coordinate with Miss Peaches to try to come up here to see if I could get one of you guys to come up with her to take possession of the vehicle here. I got it running better. It's not leaking oil like it was. It's an alright vehicle now. I'm not going to be able to keep it though.
So it probably can't be this weekend. I got a lot going on this weekend. But, let's see. Sean, I'm going to give you my number, okay?
Alright, could you text it to me? Because I won't remember it and I don't have anything to write it down on.
Sure.
And I'm sorry I was an asshole to you, Graham. I tried asking nicely for you guys to call it. Being nice to people doesn't work. They don't get it. They don't understand it. Like, if I'm nice, then they don't realize there's a problem. You know, or they don't think it's a major problem. And it gets to the point where it's been so long that I finally scream at the top of my lungs, please help.
Yeah. We're going to try to do everything that we can for you, man. Like I said, I'm going to write the letter, and then I'm going to put my notary stamp on it. We can give it to you when we go to see you, or we can turn it into the police. Which would you prefer?
Both.
Okay.
I'll make sure I save money to see you guys. Miss Peaches, her vehicle's broken, so she's not able to. I've been trying to coordinate to see her too. She tried to make a police report on 3 different occasions, and the police absolutely refused. So if the police refuse to take your report, make a report about that, please. I know that you didn't mean any harm by what you were doing or saying, but it's important to note that you were there, and the situation was fucked up, and that the police outright lied. And they did, repeatedly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Graham.
Thanks, Sean. Love you, brother.
I love you too. Hey, Graham?
Yeah.
Could you guys try calling me once a week for like even just 15 minutes would help a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I love you, Graham. Give Tabby a big hug for me, and give Sid and Candace a hug for me, and tell them I miss them.
Absolutely, man. Did you want to talk to Candace?
I do.
Hey, Sean wants to talk to you. Sean.
Hello.
Hi, Candace. I miss you.
I miss you too.
How are you?
Are you okay? Good. How are you?
I'm doing better. I got to talk to your mom, and I got to talk to Graham.
Good.
I was an asshole to both of them, though.
Buddy said hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, son.
I miss you guys.
There's $1,000 in my purse. We miss you too. We miss you too, Sean. We miss you too, Sean. Oh, get out of my way.
Candace,
Yes?
was I mean to you guys while I was there?
No?
Did I scream at you guys while I was there?
No?
Did I try to help out around the house?
Did you what?
Did I try to help out around the house?
Yes.
Alright, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me.
No, you're good.
Hey, Candace, I'm trying to coordinate to be able to see you guys. I can't go into Colorado because of warrants, and I can't go to Nebraska because of warrants, so I can't see any of my loved ones.
Why can't you come here?
I have warrants.
Oh.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for the ticket to California.
You're going to Cali?
No, I said thank you for the ticket to California.
Oh, yeah, that was your money, of course. Thank you for your money.
Yes, ma'am.
Mama, say hi. I did say hi.
She did. She absolutely did say hi.
I know, my phone's off right now, so I haven't been on Facebook.
I might try to sneak down there to see you guys and risk going to fucking prison for forever, but I'm gonna try to coordinate with Graham for him to come and see me.
Okay.
And Miss Tabby as well. I got a Jeep. I've been wanting to give it to your mom since I realized I'm not going to be able to financially afford to keep it. I have insurance on it, so it's legal. I have the title to it. I have everything that's needed for you guys. So that it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee. There's lots of room. There's seats in the back. It's a good vehicle.
Okay.
I suppose I should probably let you go because my phone's about to die. But thank you for talking to me, Candace.
Talking to you. Keep your head up.
Yes, ma'am. Be safe. I love you.
You too. Love you too. Mommy.
They're good people. The cops saying that it's probably because of how I act. No, I act this way because I'm frustrated and I can't get the police to take a goddamn report. They make every excuse that they can not to. See, there's reasons for all of this. But it's a matter of getting people to come forward with those reasons. I think it sucks that I have to be an asshole to people for them to respond. I don't want to be an asshole. I want to be left alone. I want to see my loved ones without being threatened or harassed by the police or the Bollingers or some fucking crazy goddamn web wingnut who doesn't want to take a look at the truth, just like the cops and the Bollingers. It's not that people didn't want to help me, it's that they were in fucked up situations that prevented them from doing so. These are good people who were trying their best and couldn't find time. And the reason that they couldn't find time is important to note, especially after the slander by Officer Amanda Jonas. These officers lied outright. They turned off their body cams to do illegal shit. And it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's never okay. The way that the homeless are treated, the way that the poor are treated by the police is not okay. You want to bitch about how minorities are treated? Unless you're a homeless minority, you have no room to talk.